They were looking for Jesus to come as David had come. And if you remember your Old Testament history, it's a pretty ugly history. We have all of these matriarchs and patriarchs, beloved of God, and the Old Testament is got to be one of the bloodiest books ever written. And the betrayal and the backstabbing that goes on, and sometimes in the name of God, is just horrid. We look at Sarah and Abraham, the first of the patriarchs, and the matriarch. And remember the story. God promises them that they will be the mother and the father of nations, and that all people will worship God because of them. They decide after a while that God doesn't know what he's doing, so Sarah says, hey, I'll take this into my own hand, and she gives her slave to her husband so they can have a child. She does indeed bear a child, a son, and what does she get for being used by Sarah and Abraham? Yeah. Nothing good, right? Because when Isaac is finally born, Sarah drives Hagar out to die in the wilderness, where God will protect them. We jump forward a little bit, we get to Moses. Moses, who is drawn out of the river, a very bloody time again, is raised in the palace, given all of the things that living in the palace would give them. He had an education. He knew how the palace worked. He knew the inner workings of the Egyptian. He uses his power to kill someone who he thought was misusing their power, has to flee where God finds him and sends him back to take the people out of Israel, or out of Egypt, where they have to wander around in the wilderness for 40 years, a generation, hopefully learning to trust God. That's what that whole thing is about. I'll give you food. Oh, you need water? I'll give you water. You're tired of manna? Okay, I'll send you meat. Trusting God. They get to the promised land. Before they enter into the promised land, what does God do? Through Abraham, he gives them a whole bunch of rules. Rules about how to take care of the poor. If you've got fields, don't take your crops all the way to the edge. Leave the edge for the widows, the orphan, the poor, so that they don't starve.